What's going on? Today, I'm going to be showing you some templates on how to get your account reinstated on Amazon. Difficult, stressful, but completely doable in today's video. Let me share my screen and we'll get this started. Here's our website if you need any assistance, but let's just dive right in. So today we're going to be going over counterfeit appeal, order defect rate repeal, use sold as new appeal, generic appeal, related account suspension appeal. So I'm giving you some appeals. People usually do not give away this stuff, and they usually charge money or all that good stuff. These appeals we've used before and they have worked. We manage clients, but let's dive in to each one. But first, we're going to go over some tips. So the tips, before we start, you need to edit the below text. So all of these appeals, as you know, they're not cookie cutter. They're very close to cookie cutter, but you need to add your own ingredients in. So you need to edit it, add a little bit more details, and then make it situated towards your account as a whole. Okay. Next are going to be the tips. So ensure the appeal is not too long and not too short. If it's too long, Amazon will not read it. Just give an example as if you're giving it to a judge to read. You know, there are long documents, there's short ones, but this is like a newer judge and they don't want to read a big document. They want to read a shorter document. And if it's too short, it doesn't look professional. So maximum is going to be 2 pages, and then minimum is going to be half a page. That's my minimum maximum. There you go. So you stay in between those, good to go. Ensure to provide PDF documents as evidence. Make sure you provide evidence, have documents attached. If you're not attaching anything to your appeal, it's most likely going to get declined. Just attach some type of evidence that you've shown that you did screenshots to show Amazon. Ensure to cite Amazon's policy with URL links. Sure to call Amazon if not accepted. If something isn't accepted, call Amazon. You're able to call Amazon, talk to a health rep, seller account health rep, and then ask them, hey, why was it declined? Can you look at my appeal, see why is it declined? Can you see if they left any notes? What's your thoughts on this? Did I not provide enough information? What do you think was the problem on why it wasn't accepted? I like to call 2 or 3 reps before you submit another appeal. So this is once it gets denied. When your first one gets denied, you call Amazon 2 to 3 times so you can try to get different perspectives. Remember that sometimes Amazon doesn't accept the first appeal at default. Sometimes even if it's like picture perfect, they won't accept the first appeal. Remember that an actual human is reviewing your work. Sometimes it's a different human every single time. So as you know, with humans, if they're in a good mood, maybe they accept more that day. If they're in a bad mood, maybe they don't accept more that day. If it's too long, too short, they don't like your wording, all these can come into play. And pretend you're submitting the case as if you're giving it to a judge. And what I like to do is like life, you're free or you go to jail. So if the judge is like, hey, you need to give me this report, can't be too long, can't be too short, here's minimum maximum, you need to provide evidence, right? And if it's good, you don't go to jail. If it's bad, you go to jail, right? So it's kind of like try to really, if I see a lot of people submitting appeals and they just do, I didn't do this, and they submit it. It's like, what? Obviously, they're not going to accept it. Remember to use I. Don't say we, don't say him, don't say her, say I. So I accept it. And then when you go to sleep at night, think, did I do everything I could do in the last appeal? If the judge in court reviewed it, they would completely understand your side of the story. So like, did you do everything you could in that appeal, staying within the maximum and the minimum, right? Did you provide the evidence? Did you actually look at Amazon's policies and cite the policies? Did you actually do that? And then now we're going to go through. One tool that I like to use is ChatGPT. So you can use ChatGPT just to kind of triple check and make your work a little bit better. Anyway, we're just going to go through the appeals one at a time. We've got the counterfeit appeal. And again, these aren't cookie cutter, but I've used them before. I put XXX for like some of the ASINs and some of the clients that we've worked with, so you don't see their information. But this is in regard to XXS. And then if it was like a counterfeit without a test buy, it's pretty easy to get it unsuspended because they didn't do a test buy or account reinstated. They didn't do an actual test buy. If they actually did a test buy, you can still kind of use this template. But compliance notification, you're going to just cite the notification that you received, your ASIN, your SKU. There's a complaint ID. So when somebody submits an infringement request on your listing to take it down, and that could remove your, pretty much deactivate your entire account, there's a complaint ID. Here's the written plan. The ASIN, you're going to put your supplier, your item description, the item quantity that was purchased. And then you're going to attach, here you go, invoices as proof of purchase. Here's your proof of brand registry if you have brand registry. If not, provide as much detail as you can, as much invoices, right? Screenshot of infringement retraction. So let's say they retracted it, or they said they were going to retract it. Again, like I said, these aren't cookie cutter, but this is where you provide all the information to Amazon. And then maybe in this case, Amazon held our inventory and said our inventory was counterfeit. We submitted an inventory appeal and that got accepted, but our account was still suspended. So Amazon was like, okay, your inventory's good to go. We're not going to keep your inventory. It's not counterfeit. It's authentic. But they still said, oh, but your account, this affected your account, so your account's still shut down. So we had to tell Amazon, look, your inventory team accepted our appeal, aka you should reinstate our account because your inventory team accepted that the product is real, so the product is real. But you got to provide more information than that. So we provided this supplier information, more information here. There's template number 1. I'm going through this pretty quick. You can kind of look at these yourself. They're in the description for free. This is for ODR, so order defect rate. One of our clients was suspended for this, their entire account. ODR to exceed 1% over 60 days. So this is what Amazon wanted us to do. So we wrote that down. We wrote down the AZD claims. I just left these in here. And I explained what the A to Z claim. The order shows delivered, but customer did not receive it. Here's the negative feedback cause. Customer want to return the item. We sent the customer the wrong item, right? FedEx. And I said, next time we should pay for an indirect signature required. We didn't have their signature on it. It says it was delivered. We needed a signature. That calls an A to Z claim. The A to Z claims will shut down your entire Amazon account. So we're saying this is what we're going to be doing. And then kind of went through all of the negative reviews and the A to Z claims that kind of caused this to happen. What we did for this, we reviewed ASIN and saw it didn't match our product, so we stopped selling. We're going to put deactivated ASIN. We refunded the customers. We set up a meeting with our Amazon consultant, put the Amazon consultant's name, right? If it says that you're meeting with a professional, you want to be very specific. We sent them photos. They updated our listing, this and that, right? For negative feedback, we are paying all return labels. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this. Put your name and company name. You sold as new. So a lot of the times you'll sell something new and a customer will complain to Amazon that you're selling used products. Amazon gets very upset by this. One time we got a couple complaints like this for one of our clients, and they did get their entire account got suspended. So they showed signs of dirty and worn appearance, causing a negative review, and they complained to Amazon. So this is like what happened. Part 2, the actions you take to resolve the issues. We examined, we communicate with the customer, all these different things that you're supposed to do. Here's the important thing in this one. We actually referenced the Amazon's policies. So we referenced Amazon's policies here. Several policies. I reviewed the prohibited. I have implemented three people to review an appropriate item being packaged for delivery. I have improved our quality control process by implementing a 3 Each SureFlow product is examined from now. As you can see, I left what product it was. Some of these, I left some of the information so you can kind of, if I put XXX for everything, you won't understand it. This is like a generic appeal. So you can kind of use this as a appeal template. Dear Amazon Performance Team, the issues have been identified include, blah, blah, blah. Here's the issues. Here's the root cause, the policies we have taken to resolve it, the steps we've been taking to prevent this to make sure it doesn't happen again. Detail if it was an error, this is why it's an error. And then proof of product authentic. All this stuff, depending on the issue. But this is a good template to use. We've used this and it's worked pretty well. You can use this for pretty much anything. You just kind of just use the root cause of the insert problem. This is the problem. And then when someone reads this and you put A, B, C, D, E, it's extremely easy to read. And let's say you put it's like a 14, you have 14 sentences for this. You could tell ChatGPT, hey, decrease this to 2 sentences. They could help you decrease a long text into a short text. Related account suspension, these ones are the most painful out of all suspensions. But we did get account reinstated for this. It took quite some time. I'm going to explain it. But for this one, you want to be so specific, the exact date, what happened, where were you at, the documents, the bills, all this. On May 21st, 2019, we signed an agreement with blank Fong, owner of the seller account blank, for an assistance with inventory setup and account management. So we're saying that this person was an account manager. So they helped our client sell on Amazon. They were like an account manager or like an employee. They were helping. Here's the contract that they were helping. They left and they made their own Amazon account. They got suspended and then our client got suspended. Fun stuff. We had their credit card here. Advertising new product launches. This is why we had, so they still had the manager's credit card attached to the account. They were paying for her credit card because she was using advertising and probably charging them for advertising. So pretty much the credit card was attached to the account, and that's what set off her account getting, when her account got suspended, it suspended theirs because they still had her credit card on their account. I don't think they were using it. It was just on there, like in the back end. So we called Amazon and we said, look, we know what happened. It was this credit card was on the account. Who did this? And they were like, oh, it's blank, blank, blank. And here's their last name. And I left their last name in here. And then we said, okay, we need to clean this account. So we cleaned the account. We went on the buyer account, the seller account, cleaned it, aka removed anything that had to do with this person, right? Cleaned it, their account, their credit card, their information, anything, their user permissions are gone. And then we cite that. So we screenshot, look, the credit card was here. This is what caused it. Now the credit card is removed. Here's a screenshot. So you got proof number 1, proof number 2. You have screenshots of that now for evidence for Amazon. Then you call Amazon and you say, hey, is the account clean? Like, does it still have this information in it on the back end? Oh, it does. And then they would help you remove it on the back end because some things only Amazon reps can do. You provide the details, evidence. We signed a sales representative agreement with them on January 21st, 2022. We terminated the agreement, and then here is the termination. So you can see the termination. We have never created or used a separate Amazon account. There is no legal person that has a position in another company selling on Amazon. Our account has different business information, which is not shared by a third party. Let's see, I helped them attach their utility bill, their bank account statement, a copy of their identity, business documents to prove that's a real business. Since the account deactivated, we tried to contact the owner, showing them that we tried to contact that owner. No response. Even though we have a termination agreement, she still owes them money and stuff like that. Maybe she charged their card or something like regarding that. Articles of organization showing that they owned part of one of the companies. So just go through this and you can kind of see how we got the account unsuspended. We did have to constantly call Amazon for this one and then say, hey, what do we need? They were like, it's perfect. It's perfect. We don't know why they're not accepting it. We finally got to the point where we were like, okay, how do we escalate this? Nobody's responding. How do we so we submitted it and they said this one was perfect. How do we escalate it? And they told us to submit another reason, so another letter that told them, hey, we need this escalated. We submitted everything. We have everything. We called Amazon reps. They said it was perfect. We literally have everything. We have all the proof. We need this to be escalated so we can get it reinstated. Here's the actual appeal attached to it. Then we submitted this appeal, had the escalation, escalated it. 2 days later, bam, it was automatically restated on Amazon. Amazon didn't even say anything. They just reinstated it. So a lot of this is constantly contacting Amazon support and saying, look, what did we do wrong? How do we make this better? Oh, you didn't provide a utility bill. We did. Don't you see it? Oh, you did. Let's see how long this is. See, this is like 2 pages max. So we have everything here. This is all you need to get back on Amazon. A lot of it's calling Amazon, asking for support, but then having a good template, something that's solid, something that's to the point where if you gave it to your brother, sister, mom, dad, friend, they would read it and they'd be like, okay, I understand the issue. You have the evidence. You're definitely in the right. Unbiased. If it was super long, do you really think your friend would read the whole thing? Probably not. So you want to have everything to the point and ready to go. That's my help. Feel free to drop a subscribe or a like if you like this stuff. I want to be showing you in the future videos on how to call Amazon if you can't get a hold of them. Maybe sometimes seller support. If your account's suspended, they won't let you call them. There's a secret way. There's some different links you can use to call Amazon account support and get to the right people. And we'll go from there. Comment below if you want me to make any other specific videos. We've been through it all. We've been through the ringer with our clients, and we're here to help.